as to what the proper way for the family to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows that something's wrong, but no one knows what to do. By doing nothing, you ultimately end up with a bigger problem than when you started out.
Yes.
Our seminars and coaching sessions help you understand your feelings. They make sense of your situation and give you a new way to feel empowered and to help to create a plan that's individualized for you and your family.
Absolutely. When you retain a coach, we work differently than a therapist does. And you're welcome to go to our website. It's on our show site. It's hearttoheartrri.com. And we have classes and we have sessions where we sit down with you, and it's almost like going over a PowerPoint. We listen to you and we help devise a plan for you that's specific for your situation.
And that's important, because
yes.
Each situation is unique.
And we coach you as a couple. This isn't just the wife or the husband coming in. You both come together. We even can bring the children in.
Right.
And then sit everybody down together and listen to everyone openly and easily. The next thing I'd like to address is some of the ways that the ex and even the children can cause problems in your marriage. I know we don't like to think that our children are capable of causing us problems, but they can be powerful motivators for a divorce in the hopes of reuniting mom and dad.
They sure can.
And this can be especially true if they're being coached by an ex or another member of the family. And here is some of the ways that from an ex-wife can cause problems in the family. Number one, telling them that daddy doesn't want them or love them anymore. Or just like
that's
just
very
like dad
destructive.
telling them that mommy doesn't love them anymore. Yes.
Exactly.
Telling your children that, you're causing psychological trouble that sometimes just cannot be repaired.
Right.
Telling the children there's no room for them in their new family. And I remember hearing that. I remember, someone, saying that to the kids, saying, oh, there's no room for you over there with their new family and stuff like that. And that's, you know what? I don't know. She heard that.
I recall that coming out from somewhere.
Yeah.
As well.
And some people, blame the new spouse for the demise of the marriage. They blame the children for the demise of the marriage. They tell children they can do anything they want to do at the spouse's house. You don't have to listen to her. You don't have to do this. You do whatever you want to do because I said so.
Yeah.
And this is where we go into.
Yeah. Yet again, that authority trying to extend into the other household.
Exactly.
When it doesn't.
And often, with Hannah, a lot of times kids hear stuff on the playground. They hear stuff,
Sure do.
Your dad, blah, 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 because that's what that child went through.
I remember going through my divorce. There were kids in her school that were saying this, that, and the other thing about how, well, your dad's not going to love you because he left. And these weren't even kids that had been through divorces. This was just garbage that kids say.
We've had some instances of hearing some things definitely come back this way. They also encourage the kids to talk negatively with the step parent, with the stepmom.
Sure.
Telling you don't have to listen to her. My mom says I don't have to do this, or my dad says I don't have to do this. Sitting them down, and here's a note. That's not going to work in the new house.
No.
Because the authority of the ex stops at the door. If the children are being well taken care of in a happy environment.
With the united front.
We'll get to the united front. If there's a problem going on that's serious, yes, it can be addressed, but you can't have 3-4 parents inside of a home parenting the child. Okay,
no,
it's gonna
you
be
can't.
Fine. There are the exes and can lie, manipulate, fake illness, fake emergencies. If you have a plan
as a
going
way to
on,
throw a monkey wrench in it.
Absolutely. Or make up lies about situations. A lot of times exes like to rally support. They like to reach out to the ex's family or someone's family and say, oh, well, they did this to me and oh, did that to me.
Right.
And, I can like to say again, make sure you check your
facts.
Check your facts. Understand what you're hearing is correct. They may abuse their power as the biological parent. They may call the biological parent at all hours of the day and night, demanding they do this, demanding they do that.
I'm glad we haven't had a lot of these issues. We've been pretty fortunate.
We haven't had that one happen, but that happens. You get the biological parent calling it in whatever they want, and you can actually establish calling hours that you can't call before this time, and you can't call unless someone's dying and I want to see the X-ray. I want to see the corpse. you're not calling here at this hour.
Well, most households have calling hours as it is.
And the last one is threaten legal action, like I talked about. You have the ex coming over here saying, well, if you don't do this and do that, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to take away everything you have. And again, we can't encourage it enough. Get legal help. Not from Facebook, not from your friends that have been through it. Call your divorce lawyer. And if you got to pay $100, let me tell you, that $100 you're going to pay for a consultation is a heck of a lot cheaper than going through a second divorce.
That's your peace of mind right there.
For sure.
Most definitely.
And then next you're going to talk about the children.
Right, about the children. And there's some common ways that children can cause problems in a new marriage.
Mm-hmm.
When Kristen and I attended a remarriage class at our church, our facilitator was very forthcoming about the ways and why children tend to cause so many problems in a new marriage. Kids can make up lies about the stepmom, which isn't good. Kids can act as little informant sources between the home and the ex. Bringing information back, getting that feeling of power that they get when mom kind of strokes the ego of, oh, that was good, Billy, and tell me more. So what did she say then? What did he say? And this is very, very destructive. Kids can purposely disobey the rules because they're looking to push the boundaries. They're going to see, well, what does really happen when this goes down? Kids can play one parent off the other just because it's a move to get a little leverage in themselves between the two. Well, Dad said this. Well, then why did you come ask me? Well, Dad told me to ask you. Well, eventually you get to the bottom of it. Kids can put things out on social media about the business that's going on in your marriage.
Oh, yes, they can.
And all of a sudden, your laundry is getting aired in front of other people. And that can create a bad situation.
We haven't had that incident, but...
No, but we've heard of it.
I know of a few that's happened. Please.
We've heard of a few.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times kids can retell arguments and disagreements.
And they are very active listeners.
Yes, kind of like I said in the one before, how they like to be little informants and how they can get praise for doing that.
Yes.
They can get praise for retelling the argument. So then what happened? Well, then what did he say to her? Then what did she say to him? And people can kind of gauge at how much trouble they can cause in that household.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can start to gauge how much their authority actually is reaching into that new household.
Oh, yes.
So, piece of advice. If you want to argue or you want to disagree with your spouse, do it behind closed doors. Not that you can't disagree with them in front of the kids, but be careful what information you put in front of the kids.
Make sure, no matter what you do, bite your lip
mm-hmm.
and just wait. And, it's not good to argue in front of your children anyway.
No, it really isn't. I mean, you can disagree, but if you're using a healthy method of solving your disagreements, do that in front of your kids.
Exactly. Let them see that. But if there's something going on, whatever, it's best to take that disagreement elsewhere. And
just like arguments, be careful when you talk about your financial woes.
Because that can be reported too.
Yet again, yes. Kids can record conversations with their smartphones.
Can I just tell the story?
Yes, I was waiting for you on that one.
This is something new for me, and for those of you that are step parents, and I know we all have smartphones, I want you to really pay attention to what I'm saying because I didn't even know this was possible. Maybe some of you know this. Okay, your cell phone, or even the child, especially if the child has a smartphone,
mm-hmm.
parents can listen to what's going on in your household.
Yes, they can.
Your child's smartphone. They can push software onto that phone. And does the kid know that they have it?
Not necessarily. They don't have to know.
Necessarily know. It can be on there. And their phone is sitting out, and they can hear everything in your household. And, I yell. And I come from a loud family, and I talk very loud. And
right.
People think I'm always yelling. I can get loud when I'm angry. And Leaf had come home from dropping off the kids one day, and he says, I just want to talk to you about, about yelling and stuff. I'm like, I know, I got to keep it down. He says, no, I want to tell you something. He says, them smartphones, he goes, let me tell you something. People can push software onto that and hear every single word that you're saying inside this house.
They can record it also.
I go, what? He
Yes.
says absolutely. Someone can push software onto that cell phone,
Whether that kid knows it or not.
and they can listen to everything that's going on in your house, and they
Sure
can
can.
record it. Not that I was doing anything, wrong, but you want to be so careful with technology today as to what you do, because
Well,
the whole thing, it's amazing. And we didn't have these problems that step parents had before, but more than
right.
ever, it's very important to watch what you say
Right.
and
It
do.
is. It is. And kids can cause conflict with the new wife's children.
Mhm.
If your children don't get along, that can be a
Yeah.
big source of hassle. Now, I'm glad we don't have a problem
No,
with
we
that.
don't. No, the kids all get along. My girls love the kids.
It's great, and Gibby and his, 3 sisters. It was funny because when the girls were in high school, their friends would come over and it'd be like, "Hey, Gibbs."
Oh, he had a girlfriend.
He had
McKinnis and all
3
this stuff.
girlfriends, high school age. And
You
he
were
would
jealous.
get so embarrassed, and I would just tell him, "Buddy, one day you're gonna look back at this day, and you're gonna wish it was true." So
And talking about the children, they act this way because they believe somehow they can get mom and dad back together.
yeah,
I don't truly believe that it's 100% malicious. They just want to be mean. Children don't want it. They want their own house. They want their own bed. They want mom there. They want dad there.
they want what's familiar.
Yes, and us as adults, we have a responsibility to those children. Now, if you don't want to have children, you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to get
Sure
married
can.
and divorced 15 times, that's your thing. But when you get married and you choose to have children, this relationship just isn't about you anymore. It is about your kids. Having said that, there's times
Mhm.
where marriages cannot be worked out. You
No,
may
they
have
can't.
done the work. You may have gone to counseling. You may have done the therapy and done all those things. And unless both parties are on the same plate to want to go forward,
Right.
you have to divorce. We have to move on. Moving forward now, we have that information. We know it takes 2 to make a marriage work.
Right.
And if you don't feel that you can do that, then you really don't have any business getting married, because it's your children that are going to be affected. Now they're in a step family situation, and now you're going to get into a relationship with someone else, and that marriage doesn't work, and you're going to pull the children out of there.
Right.
It causes them to act up. We have a lot of kids in school today with a lot of behavioral issues because their home life is just crazy. They don't even know who their dad is this week, or what new girl is mom bringing over. When you're dating, keep everybody at bay until you're ready to get serious, and then bring the family in. Oftentimes, children are coaxed by the biological parent or
Sure.
the other family members, and they feel like they're doing a good deed. They may gather up information. They're, oh, I heard them arguing about this, and I can't wait to tell them about this, that, and the other, because, ooh, guess what I heard? Especially with teenagers.
Oh yeah.
They like to be the center of attention, and when you have family members doing it, shame on you.
Right.
You don't have any business, encouraging a
There's
child
no
to act
reason
like
to do that.
No, if you want to know something, you can ask us.
Exactly.
And other than
and
that,
you'll get a straight answer.
And it's no one's business what goes on in someone's marriage to ask people that. The best way to deal with this is make it known that you're aware of the behavior, address it with the ex that's doing it, and any family members that may be involved. You're going to form a team. You're going to form a bond, at least going to talk about, and you're going to deal with these situations head on. And it's important that you let the people know
Right.
that you know what's going on, because that has a tendency to curb the behavior as well. If there's adults that are hearing stories from the children, they should take it up with the parents, and if not for the sake of starting rumors, but for the actual safety of the children. Because if these negative things are indeed occurring, we should put a stop to it.
Oh, definitely.
And that's
don't let them grow.
Oh, that is a big problem with in-laws. Yes, with some families, there's a lot of step parents out there that definitely have a crisis issue with that.
Oh, definitely.
So let's hit it.
Okay, we're going to break this down. We give you 3 of the most powerful relationship coaching tips that can help take your situation that you're experiencing right now and turn it around for the better.
Yes.
Okay, there's 3 main fundamental areas that... I'm hearing a little buzz in my mic here. I'm sorry. This is distracting me for some reason. Okay, the 3 main fundamental areas that begin the blending family process. Okay. This is where it happens.
This is where the misprint is.
That was a misprint. I'm sorry. Well, so there's 3 basic areas that you have issues. And here's where they go wrong. Let me throw it in some simple English. Okay, number one, first point, not having a plan. That is huge. You need to have a plan. Number two, second issue, not setting boundaries. Boundaries are very important. Boundaries are love. Okay.